Hey, y'all, you're here on a great day today. We have our third soap from Herc Soap Company.
It's a Christmas morning with the Barbershop Duet.
Hi, I'm Marcus Klinger with Klinger Vocal Studio.
And I'm Sarah Vincent with Sarah Vincent Virtual Pilates.
But on Wednesdays and Saturdays.
We are the Barbershop Duet.
Hey, y'all, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Welcome to the Barbershop. Thank you so much for finding us. And if you happen to be here during one of the live premieres, why, join the live chat, meet the Whiff Pack, a cool group of folks from all over the world hanging out. They'd love to meet you too.
They would. And for our mention today, we actually wanted to mention Herc Soap Company themselves. We are lucky enough to have 2 of their soaps in our den so far, and they each have episodes. So we have Engine Start and Soldier's Blend, and they also just put on their website that they have aftershaves coming out as well as bar soaps.
Yeah, y'all, and a military family. We are so excited to help shine light on this new artisan and all of the amazing work they're doing, because we have loved these 2, and I have it on good authority that a special ops Christmas soap might be on its way on Santa's sleigh from Herc Soap Company. So stay tuned here. We are so excited for y'all, and these are amazing. And what is our soap today?
Our soap today is Morning Bliss. So I'm excited to get our noses on this bad boy.
This one's been around from the beginning of Herc Soap, but it was sold out when we were trying to get it. It is a morning coffee scent, and I am told there might be a little mint in there. Are you kidding? My picture might be on this thing. Let's meet the soap. All right, y'all, so from the sales page at hercsoapco.com.
A fresh brew of Morning Bliss, our original scent that gave us our place in the wet shaving community. This bad boy has scents of coffee up front and center stage, taking care to not overpower. Notes of mint follow it up to complement that cup of joe you brought to the shave den. Base notes of vanilla extract to tie everything together. Made with our new soap recipe to create a great lather and slick shave.
Y'all, I remember something that I smelled once that was a vanilla mint, and it blew my skirt way up. So you combine that with coffee? Are you kidding me? We might have our favorite Herc soap waiting inside the box. Let's let it out. Look at that,
Fresh
y'all.
cargo.
I love it when they come branded like that. It's so cool. I love a little plain.
All right, we're
open it
going
up.
in. And they sent it to us for free to review. It was so sweet of them.
Thank you so much for believing in our little show.
I think I see a
It's
note.
my favorite things, y'all. It's a note. Let's see, dear Marcus and Sarah, thank you so much for helping support this humble crafter. Please enjoy this blissful coffee and keep doing what y'all do best. Singing and shaving from Coda.
yay,
Hey, that's my friend. We are giant fans. Let's see what this looks like.
Oh, wait.
Oh,
And we got a sticker.
And a sticker! Oh, it's a good day today. Oh, look at that.
There we
it
go.
is. And it does say,
Morning Bliss rebrewed.
y'all, I was wondering if we were going to get the revamp, and I think we did. We'll know for sure when we have our first impression. It's just a little soap from Little Rock.
It has a side label, guys.
Look at that. Those are new. These don't have this.
Okay.
All right, take it in. You
guess
get
I'm
the
going
first
first.
cup of coffee yourself. All right, let's see what you get.
Ooh, it's a tight. It's good. Sealed well for your protection.
Oh, that was a double whiff. If you're not familiar with my beloved.
So when I used to work at Trader Joe's, she woke up. She likes the mint. When I worked at Trader Joe's, they had these marshmallows that were mint marshmallows.
Oh.
And you just wanted to eat the whole box. And that's whatever the mint was in those marshmallows, it's the same mint that he's using here. And it's glorious, let me just say.
Nice.
I mean,
Do
there
you
is
get
coffee, but it's the mint leads me in, then it gets sweet, kind of
Right.
more like the coffee latte, maybe
Right.
marshmallow-ish thing, and then goes to the coffee.
Love it. Y'all, some of the artisans have told us themselves coffee's hard to do, so we were curious about this.
Yeah.
What do you sense from the coffee?
It's funny, like my brain knows it's coffee because it doesn't go chocolatey. It's not
Right.
a hot chocolate with
Right.
mint or something like that. But it's not so bitter that it pulls the scent down.
Right.
It's just coffee in the background. Like it needs the mint and cream kind of vibe
Right.
because I feel like it really starts your morning with that brisk not like you use menthol to shave. Like
Sure.
it wakes you up. It's the mint here is almost recreating that like little extra wake up call.
I love that coffee is hard to do in the shaving world because in the Irish coffee, you get to experience the whiskey and the liqueur. Coffee is something they give you at Sephora to cleanse your palate between smelling the soaps. So I love that it sits in the balance and maybe even in the background.
Yeah, but like when someone makes a fresh pot of coffee and you first pull it out
Right.
and you get that initial whiff before anything's been added, that's the version of coffee that I'm getting here. And then you can smell what has been happening added to it later.
This is not your 3 o'clock coffee break, whatever's left in the pot smell. This is your freshly brewed pot of coffee in the corner of the country kitchen.
There you go. But I think it's a medium roast. Like it's not too bitter. It doesn't go too dark. It's just enough to have that aromatic kind of part of the coffee kick in.
Nice. I love it. And then what are the other spices swirling around in there?
Ooh, let's see. It's funny, if you start with the mint to your whiff,
Right.
that's your key in.
Oh.
If you smell just for the coffee and the spices, then it's there and the mint is kind of hovering around on top. So I think the spice, it's not like a cinnamon or any of the other kind of fall stuff we've been getting.
Right.
Maybe a little hazelnutty, something in that range, but I think it
nice.
might just be the coffee aroma spice coming through somehow.
Now I see the top of the soap has a lovely oxidizing effect that's happened. Do we
It
have
does.
some vanilla
Oh, we
in
for
there?
sure
Do you
have
sense
vanilla.
the vanilla?
Yes, and I think that's why my brain was picking like a marshmallowy thing. It's just something to make it that it's not like tonic, but it's definitely the sweeter part that's been added.
Well, I have it on good authority that the vanilla latte is the #1 seller at Starbucks. So
Okay,
you know,
get
there
your
may be
nose in
some
here.
Wisdom in this. Let's see
But
what
she
we get.
loves mint, so as soon as I open that, her
Right.
nose was like, wait.
Last question. Could you consider this a candy cane type mint, or is it another kind of mint?
Interesting. You know, I think it's more mint, but it fits oddly this holiday portion really well because of all the mints that kind of go along with the winter fun.
Love it. All right, let's see what
See
I
what
get.
you think. I don't think it had a candy cane in there stirred up. I think
Right,
that's
that
too
was my
peppermint.
question.
I think that's just straight up more like mint.
Right.
But is real good for winter. Let me just say.
She does put candy canes
I
in,
do,
in
I
my
do.
coffee.
I know. He likes his minty.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
Wow.
It's a good whip.
Well, you know what, y'all? I get peppermint that then takes a big left-hand turn and turns into like a winter mint, like
yeah,
wintergreen mint. But hold on, like you said, that was just one road. It's probably because Wicked is like literally sponsoring everything right now.
True.
My brain pictured Dorothy coming up to the Scarecrow on the Yellow Brick Road, and there's like 4 roads that she could take. And no one ever mentions, are you sure the guy with no brain is leading you down the right one? So with this, whichever road you choose to take will lead to Rome. If you want the mint to be the doorkeeper, it will, and it will stay on your shoulder all the way through the coffee. But if you start with coffee, somehow it brings you in, and then the mint surrounds you on the outside. And I didn't even smell for the vanilla yet. I love it when soaps do that because it has that tug of war quality that I talk about that great perfumes often do, where the scent notes have movement to them. They don't just sort of settle in with each other, right? Hold on. Okay. I'm going to say it. The vanilla in this is kind of sitting the same way that it does in the Tom Ford vanilla scents. It is almost like cologne. And it's the vanilla that's being the sweet. It's not the mint. And I think that's the magic in this because it lets the mint be cold and be mint. And it doesn't have to go sweet the way a candy cane would because the vanilla, like it does in the latte, is coming in to be the sweet so you don't have to load it up with sugar. It's a different type of sweet. It's a more earthy, more natural, more spicy sweet. And boy, without the vanilla in here, this would not be the same. Now, it's not your vanilla ice cream vanilla.
No.
It's not. And you can go to the store and get 9 different kinds of vanilla ice cream. French vanilla, old-fashioned vanilla. This is more of a creme brulee vanilla that's like creamy and sitting under the surface that's helping to bind those other 2 things. So you have to look for the vanilla. That part of the Yellow Brick Road is really narrow. But if you can find it and have the vanilla be what leads your nose in, the coffee and mint end up swirling around you. Wow. It's funny. I don't even really get a drink. I get like a vibe with this.
Yeah, I could see that.
And around here in the Bay Area, we are walking distance from the original Pete's Coffee. Coffee shops have a fabulous vibe around here. Most of the screenplays that you enjoy from Hollywood are written at Starbucks. So they work hard to not only have a really warm, inviting, hospitable environment, but also the same type of smells. Man, those coffee houses smell amazing at Christmas. And this gives me the vibe of walking into that Pete's and experiencing all of the coffee from this direction and the peppermint from this direction and the vanilla from this direction. So it's not a drink. It's a beautiful place where I get to go have my morning coffee. Wow. Y'all, this is awesome. I'm loving this.
So smell for the coffee now, because use that route to come in.
The coffee and the mint just combine if you follow the coffee in. So by the time you're about ready to conquer the full wisp of the coffee, it's gone. You're getting mint instead. And that's that movement. That's that tug of war. Because like an ombre shirt, right? Like a color gradient. You don't know where one starts and the other stops. Beautiful work. And I want to show these folks what this looks like in a lather. Because it gets awfully impressive.
This is our cola brush from Miyake. It's a 22 from our friend Josue in New Jersey.
Josue, I love this brush because it's like a pencil in the bowl. You can really see
it's a nice
what you're
smaller
doing.
one, but I like the handle on this even a little bit more. I was going to say.
This is my brand new polished copper bowl from Captain's Choice. Y'all, we put this in my godson's hands, Nando from the Volkswagen episode. He's a craftsman. He just built a guitar out of a pallet. It looks like this. Is that amazing? And we put this in his hands and we said, hey, how much handmade would you pay for this? And he's like, that's probably about $150. Try 40. All right, so we're just going to smush that into the bowl so we can't get it out again without water and a brush. That's part of the idea. And then the patented Barbershop Duet Vertical Bloom with our Smaldridge Memorial Bougie Sprayer. I'm going to add all the water I'm going to need right now, and it's going to pool down at the bottom of the bowl. Then my next goal is to take this slightly wet soap and get it onto the bristles of this brush first without it getting too wet. So I'm going to start going forwards. I'm going to start going backwards. I'm going to push down until I get a little bit of the backbone, and then the patented Barbershop Duet brush spin. I'm going to rotate it 25
Things are
I am
happening.
getting whiffs over here. I'm going to rotate it 25%. I'm going to do the same thing. Forwards, backwards, but those bristles are now at a slightly different orientation. And then I'm going to do it again. Rotate the brush, push down for a little bit of backbone, and then go forwards and backwards. And that soap will really start disappearing onto the bristles of the brush. I know. And then this is the fun, sloppy part. When there's about 20% of the soap left, I'm going to go down and slowly soak that water into the bristles of my brush. Folks, you are now ready for either the world's greatest face lather or the best bowl lather you've ever seen. So I'm just going to start going around. It's all on the wrist. Thank you, Mr. Smythe. There's a large amount of people in this hobby who would die on the hill that there is chocolate in Sterling's candy cane. Well, it's because there's peppermint and a buttload of vanilla. That's why our brains go, boop, chocolate. Something magical is happening here. I'm not going chocolate. I'm getting the peppermint on one side, the vanilla underneath, and mixing with the coffee. That should give me a sense of just big old Hershey bar. But it doesn't. No. The coffee stays coffee.
Yeah.
And the peppermint stays peppermint. And the way those come together, I love how they are keeping their personalities in this. That is wild.
And I still get, like, almost like the coffee roast has a little hazelnutty something in it.
Yes.
Like, just to add that charm of, like, a specialty coffee, you know?
Right. Almost a spumoni.
Oh, there you go.
Sense I'm getting from this. Oh, with the vanilla, and it makes sense.
Woo-wee.
Wow. Okay, hold on.
I don't know how you can pick the right ratio because mint can be pretty overpowering.
Dude.
Like, it's kind of hard sometimes to get that ratio right because I know it can be a lot. But here, it is the perfect amount of just that, like, you know, splash cold water on your face, like, wake up kind of thing.
Dude.
That's happening here.
It can be the clown at a bar mitzvah. It can be rather bossy, but the balance here is unreal. The way these three scent notes are just in the perfect amounts that they just complement each other so beautifully.
But and it's funny because you read, like, it even says on the label, coffee, vanilla, mint. And you think that you know what that ratio could do. But here, it is pretty magic.
So, y'all, I know we never talk about lather in the Barbershop Duet, but in extraordinary circumstances like this, we would be remiss to not bring this to your attention. Isn't this a phenomenal base? And I know what you're thinking. Well, that looks fine in the bowl. But how does it hit when the rubber meets the road? What's it look like on your face? Well,
let's find
we may
out.
not do shaving here on the Barbershop Duet, but we will show you what that lather does on a dry face. Look at that, y'all. And if the goal of lather is to hold water against your skin,
Oh, that is a thing.
y'all, it's 3-dimensional. Yeah, look at that.
Ooh, that's got some good kush.
Oh, beautiful. Y'all, look how this covers. My
Wow,
razors
yeah.
will be fearless against this.
You put so much. This is wow.
I just get it one swoop and it's enough for 2 passes.
I could do my whole little face.
I love that coffee doesn't hit the place in my brain where it is at all bitter.
No.
Because I am used to burnt coffee in the afternoon and I am used to beautiful, warm, sweet coffee in the morning. This is the coffee that you take out when it's not even done yet, but you pull out the pot, right? And it has to hold it in the top thing while you pour yours. And then when you put it back, it's like an avalanche. That's the coffee. Are you getting any coolness?
I literally was just about to ask you
here?
as I'm covering my whole face.
No, there's probably no menthol, but there is peppermint.
It's a
has
little chill factor.
menthol in it.
Yeah.
Y'all, mysteries and wonders. I am feeling a little bit of a breeze from a cool morning.
Ooh, it's definitely refreshing. Like, when you need that little extra boost in the morning, instead of grabbing your second cup of coffee, you can grab some of this. And I feel like you're going to wake up real good.
Hey, y'all, I think that drill sergeant's yelling something about scent notes. All right, y'all, back to the sales page at hercsoapco.com.
This bad boy has the sense of coffee up front and center stage, taking care to not overpower.
And
I would
that's
completely agree.
Interesting. The sense of coffee. That's plural.
Oh.
So he just didn't put one coffee note
There you go.
in here. That is that artisan's secret code to tell you there's more than one coffee
Yeah,
note
so maybe that
in this.
hazelnutty thing is
That's
a different
why.
blend.
Beautiful. And then
Notes of mint follow it up to complement that cup of joe you brought to the shave den. I have not brought my coffee mug to the shave den yet myself, but maybe I should.
I have.
Base notes of vanilla extract to tie everything together. So extract, very specific.
You know, let's have a grown-up conversation. Here's why I love this. Vanilla extract, by its nature, is a bourbon. It's an alcohol.
That makes sense, yeah.
So I love that. It's got a little bit of a sense of something special and extra in your coffee that morning. That is cool. I'm not sure if your drill sergeant would approve of that, but I do.
So a few of my college friends would say to put your peppermint schnapps into your coffee, and that would totally create this vibe.
Before class? Joan Crawford once published notes on how to throw a successful party, and she literally said, put some vodka in everything. Nobody will know, and everybody will have a much better time. And then Betty Davis said, you can go and everybody who I love the graphic, because it looks like he spent the morning in a foxhole. Let's join him and take this down a little deeper. Yeah, my grandpa enlisted in the war. He was 17, and he found out that if you enlisted in World War II, you could choose what branch of the service you wanted to serve in. And he wanted to be in the Navy, and everybody was being drafted into the Army. So he had his parents sign a sheet when he was 17 that let him go into the Navy. And he actually was in Honolulu, like shipping out when the war ended. So he did a lot of really important work, like helping to collect everything and bring everything back to the United States and looking for mines and kind of those kind of things. But he didn't actually see action, but he had a gun that he would wear all the time, and he told us about it.
Way to go, Grandpa.
Why you'd want a gun on your own ship?
Maybe, for those pirates that want to hop on. I don't
He
know.
made up a lot of stuff. The other grandpa has a Purple Heart and never talked about it.
Yeah.
Ever.
Neither one of mine would really talk about it. My one grandpa would tell me about one of the Korean guys that he met, that he hung out. I forget his name, but he knew his name 60 years later, and he would tell us.
And he would talk about, I wonder whatever happened to him. Go back and find
But I
it.
guess he shared like a piece of gum, but it was American gum, and this kid it wanted to help him. It was such a cute little story.
That's how their friendship,
they started that way, and I don't know. It just, it obviously meant something to my grandpa to have 50 years later that he remembered his name and that experience through everything, like someone being nice,
And what a love of country to send your sons off into battle, not knowing if they were going to come home. We have no idea.
I do have to hope that they did get some kind of fun version of coffee like this.
Right.
Down in the trenches, it probably was a little harder, but
Well, that's a good point. Because if your life was about fighting the enemy on foreign soil and living in foxholes and crazy stuff like that, wouldn't you cherish the moments when you did have a good cup of coffee, when you could have a nice shave? Because it was required. This little ritual you see before us was sometimes the most comforting part of their day. So I'm so glad we keep this tradition alive, because it does have that connection.
Right? So it really sits well, with the Herc logo and different vibes. It's very cool to have even Soldier's Blend next to this, and hope that there were some of those nicer points happening
and
too.
I love we're doing this at Christmas, because there is that lovely story about World War I when there was a Christmas truce on Christmas Eve, and they stopped shooting and we stopped shooting, and pretty soon and they started singing "O Tom Tom Bomb," and we started singing "O Christmas Tree." And by the end of the night, we were playing football and soccer and having a good time. In fact, that football remains in the Smithsonian Institute. And the next morning when the sun came up,
Back at it.
they went back to shooting. But I think that gives you a look at the humanity inside of war.
Yeah.
Something I still don't quite understand.
No.
That's just it. I love it. I love that this combines both things, that ritual of coffee and the ritual of shaving that every serviceman would have enjoyed. And we have a little tiny version of it here at our piano for Christmas.
I think that it just adds that kind of extra smile to your morning, or
Right.
that little extra touch of like when I do put a candy cane in your coffee, just for
Right.
that little bit of fun, you know?
Absolutely. And this is legit turning into butter. I know I've been stirring it for
lather.
like 20 minutes, but y'all, I'm a little scared about this because this is turning into whipped cream. Look at
That's
this.
impressive.
What a base and what a formula and how beautiful. It holds the scent. I don't even get a sense of the base.
No.
I'm just getting these beautiful notes.
Can you imagine adding the aftershave of this? Because I think this is one of the ones that are coming,
There
hopefully.
is one now. Ooh. So it's pretty simple, y'all. Just be my grandmother hanging out on Acacia Lane in Stockton, California, keeping an eye on the cute boy next door. Well, he's going to come home one day and tell you that he enlisted in the Navy. You're going to be pretty heartbroken. But when he winks and says, "But I am kind of sweet on you, would you wait for me?" And she does. She's going to get her own! So head over to hercsoapco.com to find this and all kinds of other cool stuff. Well, I've had my shave, y'all, with Soldier's Blend. Coffee, check. Vanilla, check. Mint, check. And yet, the farthest thing from a Starbucks sort of frou-frou scent I could imagine. Somehow, it's still rugged. Somehow, there's still trenches. It is still a masculine, beautiful scent reminiscent of something our grandparents might have experienced, and I love this. And for a brand new artisan, this base has no business being as good as it is. What a great shave. Thank you so much. We will be back.
Welcome to Messages.
Hey, y'all. So for our December giveaway, we are going to be giving away a full size of our very first collaboration with Adopted Acres. And it is a Christmas scent. Details to come. To be one of the very first in the whole world to receive a full size one of these soaps, send us an email to wesetyou@thebarbershopduet.com and mention Secret Collab. Check back here on January 1st to see if you are our lucky winner, and we can't wait for y'all to smell this.
Best of luck.
I am ready for a walk because I feel like I have been caffeinated over
Right?
the last 30 minutes. It is 5 o'clock p.m., but I am raring to go.
Aren't you glad you haven't shaved either? Because you could actually use this.
Totally take this into the bathroom. I think I might.
I mean, after looking at that lather, I mean, come on. How do you not want to use that stuff? That
Beautiful.
is some pristine stuff. And you got 4 ounces in here, y'all. Let me
Y'all,
just
for
say.
a new artisan, they are just doing everything right, from the lather to the packaging and most importantly to these scents. Amazing. And I love that these act as little pensives so that we can go back in your memory and experience some of the things that you experienced in the service, much like my grandpa might have.
Right? It really goes back to like what shaving started as and
Right.
who's kept it up, and this new generation that are coming into it. We're learning so much just through scent alone, which is awesome.
Absolutely.
And I'm excited because I think that Christmas soap is hopefully coming out soon, so you'll be
I
back
have
with more.
heard whisperings about it. Y'all check back here before the magic day.
Don't forget your next appointment with the Barbershop Duet.
You'll smell better just watching this.